Questions?
What makes Iowa's defense effective when you watch them?
They're really sound and disciplined. They have good coaching on defense, and just watching them, they really don't make a lot of mistakes. They're in the right position. They're really good tacklers, and they're very physical. I just feel like it's a very sound, typical Big Ten defense, but they're very good. Their total defense are number 3 in the country right now. They're averaging like 13.9 points a game they're giving up. So they do a good job on the defensive side of the ball. That obviously is credit to their coaches and their players. And I think just from watching them, they're very physical. They do a good job. They have a really good player and a Mike linebacker, Jack Campbell, I believe is his name. He's a standout player for them. But all of their defensive backs, they're usually sound, and they're really involved in the run game, and they do a good job tackling.
Casey, Colton was just asked this, kind of what keeps this team from getting over the top? What would your assessment of that be?
We talk a lot as a team. I try to remind the guys we have to do the things necessary to win the game throughout the week and throughout the whole offseason. And I would just say accumulation of just overall winning football. You have to have a winning mindset. You have to have a winning culture. You have to have winning coaches and players in the building. And everyone has to be pulling on the same rope, and we have to do things right. At the end of the day, it comes down to elite preparation, elite coaching, and elite players, and then we have to execute on the field. And I just feel like that, there's a lot of things that go into play and a lot of factors that go into it. But obviously, from the grand scheme of things, we've been a little bit off this year, and I know in the past, the last few years. So whatever the reason may be, I'm excited to see who's going to take over as the head coach. But obviously, that's they get paid a lot of the money to figure those things out. But just from being inside the program for the first year, I would say that we need to improve in our discipline. We need to improve in performing under pressure. I think we need to improve, obviously, as players across the board. And I think we need to improve and maybe having everyone pulling on the same rope inside the locker room. And I don't know, just a lot of different little things, and it all adds up to be big things. And when you look at the scoreboard and we lose by 2 points, 3 points, or we lose by 1 possession, you ask yourself, like, what could we have done better throughout the year, and what could we have done, as players, and what can we have done in our preparation? And I'm sure the coaches ask themselves the same things. Did I prepare well enough? Did I coach well enough? Did I recruit well enough? So I would say it just overall it comes down to having a winning culture, winning talent, and just a winning mindset. And I think that for whatever reason we've lacked a little bit of that this year. But I do know, since I've stepped foot in here in January to now, I've seen improvement in a lot of areas, and I always try to stay positive and just focus on the things that we can control, like our attitude and our effort. We're doing a good job of that. Last game of the season, week 12, we're still having great attitude, great effort, still having good practices, and a lot of buy-in in the locker room. So I'm really excited about this program and our future.
Would you like to be a coach one day?
I don't know. I think that I love the game of football. So if I was a player, obviously now as a player, I love it, everything that goes into it. I love to sit down watching the game, studying it. So from that side, I guess the X's and O's, yeah, I would love to be around the game as long as possible. But when I see what the coaches have to deal with sometimes, I'm like, I don't know if I'll be able to do that. So just dealing with the recruiting part, dealing with parents, you have to grade checks and making sure guys go and weigh in, and just, I don't know, there's a lot that goes into it. So I'm not sure. I know I love the game of football. So I just think that if I continue to do my best and put my whole mind, body, spirit in the game of football, someday it'll give some success back to me. And whether that's as a player or a coach, I don't know. We'll see someday.
What's the trait that Coach Joseph, Coach Mickey has that you'd like to borrow if you become a coach one day? What has impressed you the most?
His intensity, for sure. I'm usually a calm, even-keel person, but I don't know. I like his intensity. I like his leadership capabilities. And what I like about Mickey Joseph is his ability to hold people accountable, and he does it in the right way. He knows he's so relationship-driven that he knows how to approach each coach and each player and everybody inside the building, and I really like that about him. even from watching him interact and talk to the team secretary all the way down to, maybe a scout team or walk-on player. I think he does a really good job of building relationships. And that's something that I've been taking note of. And a lot of people that I've heard just from being around the game of football, they say that Tom Brady's like that as well. He knows everybody's name in the building, and he builds relationships. So I feel like to be a good leader and to have people really believe in you, you have to be able to know each person and know their strengths and weaknesses. But I would just say his passion and his dedication to the game, walking by his office and seeing him 8 o'clock at night, and he's watching practice film, and he's watching offense and defense and special teams. He's not just, even though he's historically a receivers coach, but just seeing him pay that much attention to all three phases of the game and sitting down in his office. And I always think in my head, like, these coaches, they have wives and they've had families too, and just to see them putting so much into the game and being dedicated like that, it always inspires me to do more as well.
Hey, Casey, along those lines about your future, you mentioned Saturday that you're getting your master's degree. What are you getting that in, and what was your degree from Texas in, and how do you think after football those might help shape what you want to do?
Yeah, I appreciate you for asking. A lot of people ask me about my academics. So I currently am in my 5th year, as you guys know. I just completed a 1-year master's program in applied science is the official name. What that means is, I just know when I got here, they asked me, what do you want to do after you get done with football? And I said, I want to build a training facility that focuses on the mind, body, and spirit. I want to have elite sports performance training. I want to have cardio in there. I want to have a daycare center and study rooms. And I want to be able to give back to the community, both men and women and kids and adults of all ages. So our family business plan is to someday build a sports facility, hopefully in Oklahoma, maybe in Texas and Nebraska as well. But that's what my plan is. I gave a 2-hour presentation to the graduate program yesterday. They gave me 4 out of 4 votes, so I finished my master's degree. I'll receive that in a few weeks. At the University of Texas, I graduated with a sport management major and a business minor. The hardest classes that I took in college by far was the business minor, the accounting, the finance, micro and macroeconomics, business law. Those classes were real hard. So, being able to get 2 degrees in college has been a dream of mine since I stepped foot in college. And when I was in high school, I finished, I graduated in 3.5 years and enrolled early just so I could kind of set myself up to be, I knew if I was in college long enough, I would receive 2 degrees just because I was always ahead. And I don't know, my mom is big on academics. And when I was back in the 7th grade, we sat down with my 7th grade principal, and she said, put him in high school classes so he can get ahead in high school, so he can get ahead for college. So that's always something that I've kind of had a dream of mine.
Casey, you and Mickey are already really close, but how have you seen the relationship between you two grow since he took over as head coach?
I had a lot of respect for him before, and I have more respect for him now just because seeing him handle a lot of adversity. And our relationship has grown because, he was in the wide receivers coach position, and he was working with the receivers every day. And I would go by his office and check in with them, and he'd show me his national championship rings, and we talk about, recruits, and we talk about what I need to do with the receivers. And he's always pushing me to be a better person and a better player. But as he took over as the head coach, I've had more sit-down talks with him, and he checks on me a lot more than he used to, just because of the role and position that he's in. And he always talks about, in the state of Nebraska, it's the head coach, the quarterback, the athletic director, and the governor. And he said those are the most important positions and roles in the state. And he just always making sure that I have my head on straight and I'm doing things right. So I really appreciate him. And I would say since he's taken over as the head coach, we've had a lot more conversations and sit-down talks. And he just asked me, like, what the team is thinking, how I'm feeling. He asked me how my body is. And he'll tell me, I want you to practice tomorrow, and I want you to take this many reps. And sometimes we, have disagreements about, how many reps I should take or not take. But in the end, I know it's all for the love of the game. And also I know that he loves me and he loves the rest of this team. So I really appreciate him.
You always want to take more reps than he wants you to?
I mean, like I said, somebody asked me today what I'm going to miss about not when the season's over with. I just love the game of football. So being able to strap up and lace my cleats up and go out there and just get the football in my hand and spin it, like, there's no better feeling to me. So I'd love to throw and train 6 days, 7 days a week if I could, but I understand that the human body needs rest too. I've been very fortunate this season to have 2 bye weeks where I got to rest my arm and my body, and I didn't have to practice for those 14 days. And then the 2 weeks that I was out, so that was an additional 2 weeks and 14 days. So this is the most rest I've ever had. So I know it's the last game of the season, and I know everybody's like, might be tired and at this point. And I mean, I'm ready for more. Last week was my first game back, and I was just excited to be back playing again with my team. So I don't know, I love the game of football, and I love this team, and I'm always wanting more. So I'll be sad after this week's game. I mean, watching college football is cool, and watching it from my couch, but I mean, watching the playoffs and watching these other teams go to bowl games, it's definitely going to eat at me, and I'll be hungry to get back and play more football. So I'm excited for this matchup against Iowa. That's the only thing I'm trying to focus on right now. It'll feel good this weekend to kind of enjoy the weekend with my family and get some rest. But if I'm not playing football, I love to study it. So I'll definitely miss strapping up with this team. And one thing that I told the team, the leadership council yesterday was, no matter what happens after this game, this will be the last time that this actual team and this locker room is together. Every year there's new faces in the locker room, new faces in the building, whether it's new players and new coaches. So I'm really just trying to soak up this last couple of weeks with my team, and I'm trying to talk to as many guys as I can around the building just to see, hey, what's your plan after the season, and how are your grades, and how's your family and stuff like that, and just trying to, I guess, end it on a high note as much as I can, because I know I won't see a lot of these faces for sure. In December, we're all going to part our different ways, and everybody has finals and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to do a good job of soaking it all in, and at the same time preparing for Iowa. So I'm excited about the game, excited about the matchup, but it's going to be unfortunate when the season ends for sure. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Casey.